It's Boruto and we all pretend it doesn't exist. You know what's funny about that? I see it on Twitter all the time, like the Boruto defenders. Boruto defenders constantly shitting on like One Piece. And then constantly saying like, oh, Gear 5 was a dud. It didn't get nearly enough traction as, it didn't get nearly enough the traction that Boruto got. Look at Naruto taking a shit in a bathroom. That got more views on YouTube. It's like, that doesn't mean anything. Like, but I guess they're like 13-year-old defenders of Boruto. Anyway, here it is. Trump X Tucker, Hogwatch, Mugwatch Edition, Copium for the Right, Meme Review, and even another attempt at Mecha with Armored Core. Armored Core, get in now. What the fuck am I doing? Armored? Not a single person even fucking corrected me. What is happening here? Normally there'd be hella people in the chat being like, you... Mecha is the gaming equivalent to MOBAs from years ago. Very saturated genre that only has a few big titles remaining today. Non-anime watchers pretend to know we know what he's talking about right now. You know, non-anime watchers who are politics Andes who are in the chat right now. It's pretty funny. Mecha anime, the genre in its entirety is defined by how political it is. It is the most political anime across the board, always. And like the most famous mecha anime, the OG mecha anime, the original Gundam, if I'm not mistaken, was actually created by a Japanese communist, a person who was proudly a part of the Japanese Communist Party. So, you don't have to watch it. I don't watch it either. I'm just saying that like it's ironic because it's like very, very much different than the other kinds of animes that you see that you might consider to be like childish or whatever. What is this?
OMG, NL's gonna play my favorite game series. Are you talking about Armored Core? Don't lie. Where did all these Armored Core fans come from? You liars. There's a game that 8 people in Osaka played until From Software exploded after making a decade of soul.
He's literally not wrong. He's not wrong. As much as look, Nornline and myself, we're both old ass motherfuckers, okay? We've been playing video games for a very long time. Like, I was familiar with it. I was familiar with Zone of Enders too. There's no fucking way that like every single person right now is like, oh, I love Armored Core. It's like, no, you just found out about it. Your anime takes are better than your political takes, and I like your political takes.
Souls-esque games. Now everybody's like, oh, I'm so glad they're making a new Armored Core. I didn't hear shit about Armored Core 10 years ago. Nobody was talking about it. They made 5 of them? Yeah, back in the Sega Saturn days when you were positively zygotic.
True.
You were riding the Shinkansen.
He's not wrong, but I don't see what the issue is. FromSoft's continued success will bear better games in the future. It's had a cult following over the years. Yes, a cult following indicates that it did not reach broad popularity until now, which it might now. So this is actually really interesting. We'll see what happens, because I think this is an introduction for a lot of people into the genre of mecha games and maybe even mecha anime, depending on how much of a success it is, because a lot of people are diehard From Software fans now. So they're like, I'll play anything that they put out, myself included. I literally am openly anti-mecha anime. And also, like, it's just not for me, and mecha games. And yet I tried it. It's still kind of scary, but I mean, I'm going to give it another try later today. So we'll see. You can't name 3 mecha games? Wait, what do you mean? That's not an own. That's precisely what I'm saying. I'm very open about, first of all, I see no reason to try to like boost my nerd cred, okay? Yes, dude, I got pussy, okay? Yeah. I fucked your mom and many others. Okay? Not many mecha games. You're saying, no, there's a fuck ton of mecha games. That's not even true. They're just not as popular, I would say, now. And also, the community in the mecha gaming world is, as that other chatter said, incredibly fucking dense and very, very diehard. What's that one game, chat, where you have to have your own controller? Is that Armored Core? It's not, I don't think it's Armored Core, where like people have made like their own personal controllers.
You got me addicted. I'm hanging on your lips. I don't wanna quit us. We trip to go down this. I got you under my skin. Shifting tides until I let you in. You are messing with my head, and I keep dancing on the.
I think it might be Steel Battalion. It is the most like, I think we'll see what happens with this, but like mecha games are very, very A-coded, autism coded, like in a way that I would say is more autism coded than like fucking train riding simulator. Like this could potentially, if it hits, this could be the new like Paradox Games style venture for many young autistic kids online who have never even realized that this is like an eye-opening experience for them. Titanfall was the last big mecha series. Titanfall doesn't count. I don't think Titanfall counts because Titanfall is, I mean, I guess it because the FPS components in it are like, it flows. It's a beautiful game. It's a perfect game, but it's an FPS game first. You have to remember that. Like, I think a lot of people forget that. And even the I would go so far as to say even like the mecha components are like dialed back. You're coping so hard. I think I'm right. I don't think Titanfall is like Titanfall has too great movement and incredibly fluid movement that like basically designed Apex, if I'm not mistaken, right? That like the movement is beautiful in that fucking game. That is too much of a fucking movement shooter for it to be considered a mecha game. Like it's an FPS first, in my opinion. The mecha sequences are great, but like I don't think you guys understand. Mecha games are incredibly fucking dense. Like actual mech games are deeply confusing. It's like Flight Simulator, but with like a thing that you've never even encountered before, with a shit ton of weapons too. So I don't think you guys understand. Like Titanfall takes that and modernizes it and makes it as easy to play as possible. And for that reason, it's not like a pure mecha game at all. It does a really good job of interweaving mecha components into it, but it's, I think, a first and foremost movement shooter. It's arcade mech versus mech sim games. Yeah. Some mecha has its own controller by release, chat. HasanAbi Titanfall is too easy. Yeah, you're... Zero mech customization in Titanfall. That's a huge part of mecha games. Exactly. I think like people don't... I don't think people get that. Dude, let me... If I can find this fucking controller... If I can find this...
Steel Battalion.
Yeah, Steel Battalion. That's what I'm talking about.
It's got over 40 buttons. It's got a tuning knob. Even the joystick has a
Now this is a fucking mecha game.
a gear shifter, which moves the whole thing. Switches. Everyone loves switches. And 3 foot pedals. This joystick stays where it is so that you can aim and then stay aimed. This one only goes left and right. That's for steering. I haven't even told you. It's a freaking mech game.
You're describing why mecha is a genre.
We still got miles to go, miles to go, got miles to go. We still got miles to go, go.
genre is obscure. Mecha isn't a strict genre. Mecha are always a component, and the question is how much and how detailed. Yeah.
You drive what's called a vertical tank. It's a giant mech that walks around. This is the only Xbox I've got that will play American games. This game is legit, but it needs a mod chip because I don't have an American Xbox. And it's not reading discs. This is going to be a problem. It's surgery time. Now, 7.
I want to show you the game. Look at the game. Look at the screen. And now you'll understand.
The shifter does what you'd think it does. Accelerates down here. Left stick is for steering. The left stick is for the camera looking around. And this is your view throughout the entire game. Pretty much the whole screen is just full of HUD. I'm supposed to be stopping them from destroying the city.
This is a fucking mecha game. Okay? Like a pure mech game. 100%. This is why I also said, like, it's very autism coded. Like, it's very, this is like, is perfect. Like this, if this is the type of shit you like big, quirked up metal machines, oh my Lord, this is like right in the pocket for you.
Stop. Reverse. Oh, that building's about to go. See now the camera was desynced from where I was actually pointing, which makes it very hard. Lock on? Lock on. Yeah, lock on. Oh, I need to use there's a side step button down here. I'm still in reverse. I want to be forward. My camera's dirty, so I need to wash it.
Like, dude, there's a fucking windshield wiper button. Like, that's insane. Okay? This is a video game from what year? What year is this fucking game from? It's from the original Xbox. And they factored that in there. From 2002, man. That's insane. Think about that. That's too much stimulation for an autism game, dude. No, I think you're wrong. Anyway, so my point is that's a little different than Armored Core. Armored Core is like definitely more accessible, but it's still Armored Core is also still infinitely more complicated than Titanfall, which is like very easy to pick up and play, which is a good thing.
People are saying they made 15 of them. I don't believe it. If they made 15, why isn't the new one called Armored Core 16?
Anyway, he's also joking, and I think people are going to get very mad at that and act like they've been a fucking ride or die for mecha shit forever. I am very open about it. Like, I feel like it just doesn't appeal to me. I don't know what it is. I respect it. I think it's great. Okay? I think it's awesome. I don't have an issue with it. I just, it's usually not for me. I'm trying.